You were rejected, overlooked, betrayed. But listen closely. God wasn't punishing you. He was protecting you. He wasn't denying your prayers. He was preparing your promise. Chosen one. While others were chasing relationships, He was setting you apart. While the world was settling for surface-level love, He was sculpting something sacred in secret. The heartbreak wasn't your ending. It was the birth of your alignment. And now, heaven is moving, quietly, but with precision. The shift you've been sensing, that tug in your spirit, it's not random. It's not your imagination. It's divine orchestration. You're not just about to meet someone. You're about to collide with destiny, a soulmate, loving, healed, awakened, and yes, wealthy. Not just in finances, but in wisdom, in peace, in spiritual depth. A partner who carries the fragrance of divine timing, someone who sees you, honors your anointing, and carries the exact keys to unlock parts of you that even you forgot existed. This isn't another karmic cycle. This is the fulfillment of prophecy over your life. And the most powerful part, you deserve this. You earned it in the fire. And now, you're stepping into the reward. But listen, this isn't going to be a sugar-coated message. This is raw, deep, spirit-led. Because by the end of this video, you will not only understand why this divine connection is coming, you'll realize that it's already closer than you think. So stay with me until the very last word, because every second of this message has been crafted to awaken your spirit, ignite your discernment, and prepare your heart for what's next. You're not here by accident. You were called to this message, and now that you've arrived, heaven is ready to reveal. If this already resonates with you, chosen one, don't scroll. Don't wait. Tap the like button so this message can reach others like you. And comment, I receive my divine union to activate this word in your spirit. Now, let's go deeper. What if I told you the wilderness was never meant to break you, but to build you for the exact love you've always dreamed of? Let's begin. They didn't leave you. God removed them. Not because you were unworthy, but because you were too sacred to be touched by what was beneath your calling. Let that settle in your spirit for a moment, that season of isolation. It wasn't punishment, it was purification. You weren't being ignored, you were being protected. You weren't being forgotten, you were being fortified. God took you into the wilderness not to abandon you, but to whisper to your soul in a way that the noise of the crowd never could. Hosea 2:14 says, Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak tenderly to her. Chosen one, this wasn't just solitude. It was sacred training. Because before you could meet a soul who would love you with God's eyes, you had to first learn to see yourself through His eyes. Let's be honest. If God had sent them earlier, before the pruning, before the stripping, before the awakening, you would have sabotaged it. You would have settled. You would have second-guessed. You would have mistaken attention for affection and chemistry for covenant. So He did something radical. He shut the door. He silenced every counterfeit. He stripped away the distractions and the comfort and the noise until it was just you and Him. In that sacred silence, He taught you how to discern, not just with your emotions, but with your spirit. He taught you how to see beneath the surface, to read fruit, not just faces, to recognize wolves dressed as lovers, and most of all, He taught you to wait, not with desperation, but with discernment. Because you, chosen one, are not ordinary. Your love story could never be written by human hands. It had to be carved out by divine timing. You felt abandoned, but you were being anointed. You felt overlooked, but you were being overhauled. You weren't rejected, you were refined. You see, the version of you that cried in secret, the version that questioned if love was ever meant for you, That version had to die, so the resurrected you could rise, a warrior of discernment, glowing in clarity, no longer impressed by shallow attention. Now, you see the red flags before the conversation even starts. Now, you feel the Holy Spirit's nudge before you get attached. Now you can spot the Spirit behind the smile because your wilderness sharpened your vision. And that's why your soulmate will be different. Because you're different now. You won't attract chaos. You'll repel it. You won't beg to be chosen. You are the chosen one. You no longer crave temporary comfort. You crave covenant. And here's the wild part. While you were in your desert, your soulmate was also in theirs, being molded, pruned, awakened. Because God doesn't just prepare you for the blessing, He prepares the blessing for you. But here's what most people miss. The desert never lasts forever. Eventually, the wilderness ends, and when it does, what was promised begins to manifest, but not like a lightning bolt, not like a fairy tale. No. God does it in a way only the truly awake can perceive. Sometimes your divine connection enters your life not with fireworks, but with a whisper, a sense of peace that overrides your fear, a frequency your soul instantly recognizes, a moment that feels eerily familiar, like something your spirit already knew. And that moment, that encounter, might be closer than you think. But not so fast. Because before you can embrace the blessing, you must understand one final truth about your preparation. One final twist in the wilderness experience that changes everything. And trust me, what I'm about to reveal next will shake the foundation of how you see divine timing forever. Stay with me. We're just getting started. Let's make one thing clear. You didn't just survive that wilderness. You transcended it. You were stripped down, broken open, and rebuilt from the inside out. And something incredible happened in that process. Your frequency shifted. You are no longer vibrating in the energy of desperation, lack, or fear. Now your spirit radiates alignment, clarity, and divine authority. You stopped chasing. You started attracting. You stopped begging. You started believing. And the universe, under heaven's command, is now moving in agreement with your new vibration. Let's go deeper. This isn't about manifesting a partner through wishful thinking. This is about becoming a vessel so aligned with the will of God that divine connections are magnetized to your presence. Because when your heart aligns with heaven, you stop attracting lessons and you start attracting revelation. You stop repeating cycles and you start fulfilling prophecies. You stop settling for what is available, and you begin to receive what is appointed. Psalm 37:4 says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." But most people miss the key. When you truly delight in Him, your desires become His desires, and what God desires cannot be denied. So now, you're no longer looking for someone to complete you. You're walking in your wholeness. You're no longer trying to fit into someone else's story. You are the story, authored by the hand of God Himself. And that changes everything, because you're not just calling in a person. You're calling in a match to your transformation. A soul that mirrors your healing, a spirit that matches your depth, a partner whose energy doesn't deplete you. It elevates you. And yes, this soul is wealthy, but not just in material things. They carry abundance of wisdom, emotional intelligence, spiritual maturity, and divine favor. They've walked through their own fire. They've cried silent tears no one saw. They've sacrificed temporary pleasure for eternal purpose. And now, they're vibrating on the same frequency as you. So what happens when two awakened spirits collide? Not fireworks, not chaos, but something more powerful. Resonance, a feeling that settles deep in your bones. Like you finally found the one place that feels like home. Not because of how they look, but because of how they feel in your spirit. You'll look at them and think, I don't have to explain myself, they just get it. They see me. They hear me. And I don't feel small here. I feel safe. And that's the beauty of energetic alignment. You attract what you are, not what you want. Now that you're vibrating at the frequency of peace, love, and divine order, you can no longer be entangled with chaos. That's why the wrong people started disappearing. It wasn't rejection, it was resonance correction. God was recalibrating your orbit. And now, the only ones who can enter are the ones who carry heaven's permission to love you. So here's where it gets real. This connection that's on its way, it's not going to come when you're looking for it. It's going to arrive when you're most aligned, when your energy is still, when your heart is open, but not needy. When your spirit says, even if it doesn't come today, I am whole. That's when it shows up. Because God doesn't bless chaos with clarity. He blesses peace with partnership. And here's the twist that most people never see coming. Sometimes, the very moment you think nothing is happening is the exact second when everything is shifting in your favor behind the veil, because heaven moves in mystery. And right now, the ripple has already begun. The encounter is already scheduled. The divine appointment is in motion, and what's about to enter your life will confirm everything your spirit has been sensing. But we're not done yet. Because in the next few moments, we're going to unravel a truth so deep, it will redefine what love truly looks like when it's been anointed by God. Don't blink. Don't scroll. The next revelation may be the one your heart's been waiting your entire life to hear. This love will not be ordinary, because you, chosen one, are not here for an ordinary life. And God would never send you an ordinary partner. No, what's coming is sacred alignment, a union so intentional that when it happens, you'll know instantly. This was written in heaven before I was ever born. This is not the kind of connection that feels exciting for a season and fades with time. This is the kind that feels eternal from the very first glance. Because your souls didn't just meet today. They've been searching for each other through lifetimes of spiritual assignments, karmic distractions, and divine delays. But now, it's time. Ephesians 2:10 says we are God's workmanship, created for good works He prepared in advance for us to do. And some of those assignments were never meant to be done alone. This is why Ecclesiastes 4:9 says, "Two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor." Because when two chosen ones come together in divine timing, they don't just fall in love, they create impact. This relationship isn't just about holding hands, it's about holding vision. It's about walking in purpose side by side, serving, building, healing, lifting others higher. This is the type of love that wakes you up in the morning with fire in your spirit, not just because you feel cherished, but because you feel called to build together, called to serve together, called to glorify God through the very way you love each other. And here's the truth. Your divine partner will not be intimidated by your light. They will amplify it. They won't compete with your calling. They will complement it. They will speak to the parts of you that few have ever seen. They will remind you who you are when you forget. They'll pray for you without you asking. And they'll prophesy over your future while the world doubts you. This is not romance. This is revelation. Because when purpose meets purpose, when spirit recognizes spirit, love becomes a weapon of heaven. And don't be surprised if your union begins to shake things around you. Don't be shocked when opposition rises, when strange delays come, when people from the past try to resurface out of nowhere. Because divine unions are always noticed in the spiritual realm. And the enemy knows, when the right two come together, strongholds fall. But guess what? You've already been prepared for this. Both of you have. Your spirits have been matured in private. Your wounds have been healed with heaven's hand. And now, you're not coming together out of need, but out of overflow. You're not looking for someone to fix you. You're looking for someone to build with. Your relationship will be a safe house for vision, a place where creativity, prayer, passion, and divine strategy flow without fear. You'll bounce ideas off each other like fire and wind, fueling one another toward everything God has promised. People will look at you both and say, there's something different about them. They don't just love each other. They ignite each other. And they'll be right, because this is more than chemistry, more than compatibility. It's a commission. You've been anointed to walk together, whether it's ministry, business, mentorship, music, writing, teaching, or simply living in radical obedience. The love you share will ripple far beyond your personal joy. It will awaken others. It will heal those watching. It will reflect the glory of God. And here's the deeper truth. You had to become purposeful on your own. Before you could carry purpose together, you had to discover your voice before someone could amplify it. You had to walk through your fire before someone could respect your flame. And now, you're both ready. You've been growing like two trees on opposite sides of the forest, rooted, separate, silent, but beneath the surface, your roots have been reaching. And soon, very soon, those roots will intertwine. And what once felt far away will suddenly feel like it was always meant to be. But here's where it gets even more mysterious. This union isn't just about your calling. There's a hidden layer to it, one most people never talk about, a secret that explains why the timing has been so precise, why the delays were necessary, and why you had to endure so much before you were ready to receive it and chosen one. That secret is what we're going to uncover in the next chapter. Don't look away. The revelation that's coming next will unlock a part of you that's been waiting in silence for far too long. You've been lied to, chosen one, conditioned to believe that if love is pure, it must come with struggle. That if someone truly cares for you, they must be broken, broke, or barely surviving. But heaven is here to correct that narrative. Because true love and true prosperity are not enemies. They are partners in divine alignment. The soulmate that's being sent to you, they are not coming from a place of lack. They are coming equipped, financially, emotionally, spiritually. And here, that is not a coincidence. It's by design, because when God blesses a union, He doesn't just pour out affection, He pours out provision. Proverbs 10:22 says, "The blessing of the Lord makes rich, and He adds no sorrow with it." Let that sink in. God doesn't give you a gift that drains you. He gives you a gift that elevates you. And what's on its way into your life is not just someone who loves you deeply, but someone who has the means to support your dreams, invest in your growth, and cover you with joy, not stress. Because here's the truth that religion often avoids. Money is not evil. The love of money is. But wealth, when it is surrendered to God, becomes a weapon for kingdom expansion. And the one who's being aligned with you? They've been entrusted with resources because they've proven faithful in private. They've tithed when no one was watching. They've sown seeds into others with no expectation of return. They've managed lack with grace and overflow with humility. And now, God is releasing them into their season of multiplication, and you are part of that equation. They won't see you as a burden. They'll see you as a blessing. This is not someone intimidated by your vision. They are financially and spiritually prepared to help it come to life. They'll want to fund your calling, push your creativity, support your ministry, fuel your business ideas, buy the tools, pay for the platforms, open the doors that you were never meant to open alone. And here's the part that will shock many. This is not about being kept in a shallow sense. This is about being seen, being recognized as someone worthy of investment, not just emotional, but tangible. Because God is strategic. He knows your past wounds, where you were undervalued, unsupported, left to carry the weight alone. So now, He is sending someone with the ability and the heart to make sure you never have to walk that road again. And let's be clear, this person's prosperity. It's not flashy or boastful. It's not about flexing cars or designer labels. It's quiet confidence. It's stability that speaks for itself. It's being able to rest knowing the bills are paid, the future is planned, and the household is in order. You won't have to guess if they're serious. They'll show it by the way they protect your peace, by the way they plan with you and not around you, by the way they see your potential and say, let's build that together. This relationship will have luxury, but not just in material form. It will be rich in consistency, rich in wisdom, rich in intentionality, rich in divine order. And yes, there will be overflow, travel, opportunities, open doors, access that you never thought possible. Not because you needed someone to save you, but because God is restoring the years the locusts have eaten, and He is using this union as the vehicle for that restoration. Do not let old programming make you reject the blessing. You prayed for a love that honors God. But did you forget that God also owns the cattle on 1,000 hills? You asked for emotional safety. But did you forget that financial safety is part of that promise too? This isn't greed. This is God. The same God who gave Solomon wisdom and wealth. The same God who blessed Abraham, David, Esther, and Ruth abundantly, so they could bless nations. You are not called to just survive in love. You are called to thrive. And the soulmate on their way? They know that, because they've also endured seasons where they gave and never received. They've also been used, misunderstood, and overlooked. But now, just like you, they're entering their reward season. And you? You are part of their reward. But here's where it gets even more real. There's something about this connection that will expose the hidden beliefs still lingering in your heart. Beliefs about worthiness. Beliefs about being too much or not enough. Beliefs about what kind of life you're allowed to receive. Because this blessing is big. And you'll have to decide, can I really receive love and prosperity without guilt? Can I stop apologizing for God's favor on my life? The answer is yes. But the final piece to unlock it all is still to come. And in the next chapter, you're about to discover the sacred posture that will open the door to everything heaven has promised. Don't blink. Because what's next could be the key you've been waiting your whole life to turn. Chosen one. You've felt it, haven't you? That subtle shift. The sense that something's moving in the unseen. Like the wind changing directions before a storm. But this time it's not a storm of destruction. It's a storm of divine alignment. You've been noticing it. The strange dreams, the way people are suddenly exiting your life. No drama, no big explanation, just a quiet removal. The way your heart has been stirred out of nowhere with a longing you can't explain. It's not random, it's not your imagination. It's confirmation. Heaven is getting ready to collide with your reality, because what God has prepared for you is not delayed, it's not lost, it's not for someone else. It's on the move, and it's headed directly toward you. Isaiah 60:22 says, "At the right time, I, the Lord, will make it happen." And here's the key. When it happens, it will feel like it came out of nowhere, but it will also feel like it was always meant to be. That's the paradox of divine timing. God hides it until He's ready to reveal it. And when He reveals it, it happens suddenly. One day, you're walking through life as usual, and the next, you're standing face to face with the very thing you prayed for through tears and silence. This encounter won't come with flashing lights. It won't announce itself with trumpets. It'll arrive in stillness, in ordinary moments wrapped in supernatural meaning. You might meet them in a space you didn't expect. A casual conversation, an unexpected delay, a divine detour that looks like inconvenience. But heaven hides its greatest gifts in the most human experiences. And when your eyes meet, something inside you will shift. Not the butterflies of shallow attraction, not the anxious rush of infatuation, but a deep, holy recognition that whispers, "This is it." And here's what you need to understand. Before this promise appears around you, God is making sure it's fully ready within you. That's why you've felt the internal shaking lately. That sense of being stripped, the quiet nudges to let go of habits, thoughts, and even people that once felt safe. Because the new you cannot enter this next season dragging the weight of who you used to be. This connection that's coming, it's too sacred, too rich in purpose, too exact in timing. God has been clearing the stage, because the spotlight is about to hit your promise. And some of the delays you've experienced weren't punishments. They were protections. God didn't allow you to meet them back then, because He refused to let you walk into your destiny carrying wounds that would sabotage the blessing. You had to unlearn desperation. You had to stop chasing validation. You had to become so rooted in your identity as chosen that love became a bonus, not a lifeline. Now you are no longer looking for someone to complete you. You are complete in God. And that's why the blessing can finally manifest, because you're not chasing love anymore. You're attracting alignment. And here's something deeper. You're not just being prepared to meet the promise. You're being prepared to sustain it. God doesn't do drive-by blessings. He does generational shifts. This union will be one of those moments that ripple across time. It will affect your children, your legacy, your territory, your testimony, and that's why it had to be protected until now. You see, this isn't just about romance. This is a divine appointment, marked on heaven's calendar. And the clock is ticking. The signs have been showing up for a reason. The spiritual tension, the inner restlessness, the encounters with strangers who speak into your destiny without even knowing it. Even the silence from God has been a sign. Because in the silence, He was working. Behind the curtain, orchestrating details so complex you couldn't understand. Them if He showed you, but you're about to see it with your own eyes. And when it happens, every past heartbreak will make sense. Every tear will become a seed that blooms into joy. Every closed door will suddenly be understood as a redirection toward this very moment. So stay ready. Not in anxiety, but in expectation. Keep your spirit open. Keep your heart pure. Keep your posture surrendered, because at any moment, your life could shift. Your path could intersect. And the person who's been walking toward you in silence could finally step into your reality. But listen closely. Before that moment arrives, there's one final revelation you must carry. A truth that unlocks your ability to receive all of this without sabotaging it. A mindset shift that turns preparation into manifestation, and that final key is waiting in the conclusion. You're almost there. Don't move. The final piece will seal everything. Chosen one. This is not a dream. This is not fantasy. This is prophetic reality unfolding before your eyes. You are not here by accident. You didn't click this video by coincidence. Heaven summoned you, because the time has come. All the wilderness, all the warfare, all the waiting. It wasn't meant to break you. It was designed to build you. Every scar became a map. Every betrayal became a lesson. Every lonely night became a sacred conversation between your soul and God. And now, He's answering, but not in the way the world expects. Not through fleeting affection or superficial love. No, He's sending someone who sees your soul, who values your essence, who resonates with your calling, because you are not ordinary. You are not meant for common connections. You are royalty disguised by fire. God is about to reveal you in the presence of someone who's been praying for you without even knowing your name. They will honor your oil. They will protect your heart. They will walk with you, not in front, not behind, but beside you. As a divine partner in purpose. This is your confirmation. Stop questioning your worth. Stop replaying your past. Stop preparing for disappointment. Start expecting the miraculous. Because your story is not about heartbreak. It's about redemption. And this next chapter, It's not just a love story, it's a kingdom covenant. Heaven is orchestrating what hell tried to delay. The curse is broken, the cycles are over, the blessing has been released. Can you feel it? The air is shifting, your spirit is rising, your timeline is catching up with your divine identity. God never forgot you. He was just waiting for the appointed hour, and now he declares, it is time. So stand tall, lift your head, position your heart, because the kind of love that's coming for you doesn't compete, doesn't manipulate, doesn't control. It covers, it cultivates, it confirms what heaven already spoke over your life. You were hidden to be revealed. You were refined to be received. And now, you're ready. If this word ignited something deep inside you, comment below. Amen. I receive my divine connection. Like this video, share it with someone who's been waiting on God's timing, and subscribe so you don't miss the next revelation coming straight from the Spirit. Your love story isn't delayed. It's divinely timed. And when it arrives, everything will change for the glory of the Most High and the rise of the chosen. Let it be so. Let it begin. Let it manifest.